Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Briant Sikorski, and I'm an independent wealth advisor with Stratos Wealth Partners. As a wealth advisor, I help clients work toward achieving their financial goals by providing personal, business, education, insurance, and legacy planning. I provide access to investment solutions, including stocks, bonds, and spiritually, morally, and socially responsible mutual funds and exchange-traded funds. In today's webinar, we're going to talk about Social Security, and we're going to identify 7 keys that you can use to optimize your benefits. Before we begin, let's review this disclosure information. Most notably, we're providing general information on the subject of Social Security, but we're not intending to provide specific legal or tax advice. And you cannot use this to avoid tax penalties or to promote, market, or recommend any tax plan or arrangement. One of the most confusing but most important phases of your retirement strategies is understanding Social Security retirement benefits. Many people believe it's just cut and dried and don't even realize there are any options available. However, it is a retirement income source with some control and a variety of elections that you will need to make. In addition, since Social Security may be the basis of all of your retirement income decisions, it's important to fully understand the implications of the decisions you make. Managing your Social Security income benefit is a very important part of your retirement income process. So in our agenda today, again, while many of you may know the basics of Social Security, we're going to structure our session so that as you work with your financial professional, you'll feel more comfortable in making decisions affecting maybe some of your retirement accounts, such as a 401k or an IRA. The 7 basics that we're going to cover are these 7 keys, including facts you need to know, Medicare Basics, income benefits, tax implications, probably the one that most people have questions about, when to start receiving and collecting or file for benefits, working in retirement, and then finally covering spousal and survivor benefits. So number 1, key 1, Social Security basics. Starting with key 1, or knowing these basics about Social Security, you can see that Social Security is still the basic foundation of most people's retirement income, with 54% expecting to receive it. More than 9 out of 10 people 65 and older receive Social Security benefits, and for those 30% of them, it's more than 90% of their income. However, be sure to note that with Social Security, the more you make, the less income it replaces proportionately in retirement. So if you earn $20,000 today, your Social Security benefit will replace nearly 60% of your income. However, if you're earning $110,000 a year, it's only going to replace less than a third. And the reason for that is because there is a limit to which Social Security is charged. And we probably recall, if we look at your paycheck, if you are on the higher income side as the year moves on, there may come a time at which you reach that maximum and you make no further contribution. Social Security is more than retirement, or more than just retirement, I should say. Of the 54 million people receiving benefits, 19% of them are either disabled or their dependents, and 12% are survivors. Remaining 69% are retired workers and their dependents. One question that we get asked often is, well, is Social Security going to be there when I need it? So many are concerned about this. So while the gap between benefits and promised payments continue to grow, and the statement made that by 2036, Social Security Administration says that the trust fund is expected to be depleted. On the other hand, it appears today that projected tax revenues will be adequate to pay about 77% of scheduled benefits from 2036 to 2084, and 74% of scheduled benefits starting in 2085. So Congress has in front of them the decision of what to do about this. With the aging of our population here in the U.S., we have a greater number of individuals lining up to collect and fewer individuals lining up to work and contribute. So Congress will have to either reduce future benefits, increase Social Security taxes, or perhaps do a combination of both. Well, what about Medicare? We've all heard of maybe the phrase Medicare, and how does it interact with, and does it interact with our Social Security benefits? Well, Medicare, you are eligible on the first day of the month you turn age 65. If you're already receiving Social Security benefits, you're automatically enrolled, and if you're not receiving them, you must enroll to receive these benefits. When you enroll can affect your premium, so it's important to enroll when you turn age 65, because if you delay, you will pay higher premiums. And there are 4 parts to Medicare. Part A, it pays for some of the cost of hospitalization, limited skilled nursing home care, hospice care, and home health services. While it's usually premium free, there are copays and deductibles that must be met. Part B is primarily designed to cover physician services, most outpatient hospital services, and certain related services. Important to note, long-term care in a nursing home is currently not covered, and there is a premium that needs to be paid for Part B coverage. Part C includes managed care plans, private fee-for-service plans, and medical savings account. It may offer extra coverage such as vision, dental, and/or health and wellness programs. So this Part C Medicare Advantage plan is a little bit like the HMOs that we've been exposed to over the last 10 or 15 years. And Part D is a voluntary prescription drug coverage program. So there's a few decisions to make. Number one is how you want to get coverage. There are 2 main ways for you to get your Medicare coverage, either original Medicare or the Medicare Advantage plan, which I mentioned is a bit like an HMO. The second decision that you need to make is, do you add prescription drug coverage? Most Medicare Advantage plans cover prescription drugs, but it can be added to some plans if not already included. A third decision is, do you need to add supplemental coverage like Medigap? If you join a Medicare Advantage plan, you don't need and therefore can't buy a Medigap policy. Now, what about income benefits? For key 3. You must be fully insured, which means that you must have earned the required number of Social Security credits. Most workers need 40 credits, and that's about 10 years worth of work experience at 4 quarters each year. Through the years, the way to earn credits has changed. In 2012, 1 credit is recorded for every $1,130 that you earn each year. So how are your benefits calculated? Well, your benefit amount is based on your primary insurance amount. Your primary insurance amount is the amount you receive at your full retirement age, and your full retirement age is based upon the date you were born. Your average indexed monthly earnings are used to calculate your PIA. So if you're born after 1929, you use your highest 35 years of income to calculate your benefits. Now, your actual earnings are indexed to account for average wage changes since the year your earnings were received. What about taxation? Well, number one, many people are very surprised to learn that their Social Security benefits are subject to income tax. Whether and how your Social Security retirement benefits are taxed is based on your combined income. That is defined as the sum of your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest plus 1/2 of your Social Security benefits. The percentages are the amount of Social Security benefit included in income, not the tax rate on the Social Security benefit. If you are single or a head of house individual with an income of less than $25,000, you will not pay income taxes on your Social Security income. Or if your income's under $32,000 for married filing jointly families. If you're single or head of house with a combined income of less than $34,000, you'll pay federal income taxes on your Social Security income, or under $44,000 for married filed jointly. And this is taxed at 50%. Now, if you're single or head of household with a combined income of over $34,000, you'll pay federal income taxes on 85% of your Social Security income. Or if you earn more than $44,000 for married filing jointly. Key 5, when do we start receiving benefits? When do we file and start receiving? Well, you can see that you can start benefits as early as at age 62. So if you look at that very first line there, if your year of birth was 1937 or earlier, your full retirement age is 65. If you start to elect to receive benefits at age 62, you will experience a 20% reduction in benefits. If you were born 1960 or later, in which your full retirement age is now 67, and you elect to receive benefits at 62, you'll receive not a 20% reduction, but a 30% reduction in benefits. So you can definitely optimize benefits by delaying your start date. So let's look at how you can do this. So assuming that your full retirement age is age 66 and you're eligible for a benefit of $2,000 a month, in the age 70 column, the chart shows what you would receive in benefits starting at different ages. So if you start benefits at age 62 and live to age 70, you will have received $144,000. If you delayed your benefits until age 66 and only lived to age 70, you can see how the amount you would have accumulated decreases. This is why it's important to consider when you start benefits, as well as consider your projected longevity. Depending on your health and life expectancy, which is also in the family genes, you might opt to delay benefits. Conversely, if you're in ill health, starting at 62 might make sense. But you might also look at life expectancy. If you start at age 62 and are expected to live only to age 70, that maximized your Social Security benefit. However, if you're in good health and choose to work to age 68 before beginning Social Security and are expected to live to 80, 85 years of age, your benefits are going to be significantly better. So life expectancy is very important to consider when deciding when to start benefits. Now, this chart is simplified for illustrative purposes only and does not take into account projected cost of living adjustments or adjustments for expected interest rate changes. What about working in retirement? Gosh, if I'm working, I certainly won't be taxed, right? Well, Many people are now phasing into the retirement, and they choose to take Social Security benefits at the same time that they're phasing in their retirement. So in 2012, if you work into your retirement age and are between age 62 and full retirement age, you will give up $1 in benefits for every $2 that you earn above $14,640. If you work into retirement in the year of your full retirement age up to your birthday, you give up $1 in benefits for every $3 that you earn. And finally, if you work after your full retirement age, there is no penalty. Notice any Social Security income given up in early retirement due to working will result in a positive adjustment to your monthly benefit once you reach full retirement age. So a lot of people, I don't know if they know about the taxation piece, which we covered, but they're not familiar with this aspect that, gosh, if I'm 62 and I work, my benefits are going to be withheld for maybe 5 years up until I reach full retirement age. So there's some benefits lost if you make too much while working and receiving Social Security benefits. So let's look at a hypothetical example here. We have Susan, who was born in 1950. she's eligible to receive the maximum amount of Social Security benefits. She retired in 2012 on her 62nd birthday and has returned to work less than 1 year later. So, her Social Security benefit at 75% of her full retirement age, since she is 62, would be $16,800. Her current earnings are $40,000. The Social Security limit is $14,640. So this leaves an excess earnings of $25,360. A reduction of 1/2 of that excess earnings would be realized and would be withheld from her benefit. So $16,800 in the first line, subtracted by the $12,680 in reduction, would net only $4,120 a year. Wow, right? Here, this person thought, hey, I'll keep working, and I'm making $40,000, and I'm only working 3 days a week or something like that, 4 days a week, as maybe a realtor or something, someone who's self-employed. And wow, I'll go and get my $16,800 a year in a benefit. Not so. Susan, in this case, would only be eligible to receive $4,120. So significantly less than maybe in her mind she thought she could receive. What about spouse and survivor benefits? Well, if a retiree is married, there's another set of considerations you need to understand. And this brings us to our final key, number 7. There are calculations and considerations for optimizing benefits for your spouse as well as yourself. The non-qualifying spouse can collect on the record of the spouse who is qualified to receive benefits. If the non-qualifying spouse is at full retirement age, they will receive 50% of the primary insurance amount of the qualifying spouse. If the non-qualifying spouse is age 62, they may receive permanently reduced benefits. When both spouses qualify, there is a choice. So if you've reached your full retirement age and are eligible for your spouse's benefit and your own retirement benefit, you have the choice. They can receive their own benefit now, or 2, they can choose to receive half of their spouse's benefit, made up of personal benefit plus the difference to make up half of the primary wage earner's benefit. So let's look a little more closely at what this means, at this advanced option. The advanced option of delaying one's own benefit and starting a spousal benefit. With this option, they would receive half of their spouse's benefit now and delay receiving their own retirement benefits until a later date. If they choose to delay, a higher benefit may be received at a later date based on the effect of delayed retirement credits. Monthly spousal benefit is reduced if taken prior to a full retirement age and must wait until spouse begins benefits or spouse reaches full retirement age. So this is a way to, for a period of time, temporarily perhaps receive one of the two's benefits and allowing theirs to increase with time. As we saw how once you reach age 70, you get a greater benefit. What about survivorship? A surviving spouse is eligible to receive survivor benefits as early as age 60. If you receive these benefits early, you can receive widow or widower's benefits based on your age at any time between age 60 and your full retirement age as a survivor. However, if you start at an earlier age, your survivor benefits are reduced a fraction of a percentage for each month before your full retirement age. If you receive widow's or widower's benefits, and you will qualify for a retirement benefit that's more than your survivor's benefit, you can switch to your own retirement benefit as early as age 62. So you can see that these are kind of complicated, and they really depend upon your particular circumstance, number one. And number two, they can change and do change as you age. Now, what about a divorced spouse? An ex-spouse can get Social Security benefits based on other ex-spouse's record if the marriage lasted at least 10 years. The ex-spouse, or the person receiving the benefits, must be 62 years of age or older and have not remarried. The amount of benefit has no effect on the other spouse, other ex-spouse, or their current spouse. Also, if divorced for at least 2 years and both spouses are at least age 62, the divorced spouse can get benefits even if the other ex-spouse is not retired. Again, very complicated, so it's important to seek, advice and counsel on this. So in summary, we can clearly see, I think, that Social Security is a very important part of your overall retirement source of income. It is the base upon which you and your financial professional will make other decisions. So we've covered 7 key steps in optimizing your benefits, including the basic facts, the role of Medicare, benefit basics, tax implications, when to start benefits, working in retirement, and finally, wrapping up with a spousal and survivor benefit. So hopefully you might feel a little more comfortable in looking at your retirement strategies, and with the help of your financial professional, perhaps attorney, and perhaps a tax professional or CPA, you might be better positioned to make a decision on your specific retirement plan. Thanks very much. If you have any questions, you're welcome to contact me, Briant Sikorski, directly at 919-650-1527. You can also view other articles on my website, www.briantsikorski.com. And from there, you can click over to my Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube channels, perhaps where you're watching this today. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.